Hello, welcome to Oxford Heirlooms. In this video, we're going to work on the very small facings at the shoulders. Now, I have already sewn one, and I ended up sewing this by hand because the seams are so short and they're only 1/4 inch that I did not want to take the chance of messing it up with the machine and the feed dogs and everything. So let me show you how I did this on the other one. Okay, I'll start with the back facing. Now what I have done preliminarily is I have folded the facing on the 2 fold lines and I pressed it with the iron. So with a needle and thread and some tiny little running stitches, I'm simply going to start to sew right next to the fold of the facing. Just do a couple little stitches at a time. And then when we get to the end, we'll tie the thread off. Now this will give a nice 3-layer tab to sew our buttons to later on. Okay, do 1 or 2 more little stitches. I think I'll just, instead of like poking the needle through back and forth, I'll just come back and forth this way. Okay, now I'm going to double my thread up and do a little anchor stitch, and then I'll tie a knot. Just tie a couple of little overhand knots and that ought to hold it. Because if you've got your anchor stitch in place, that's really what's holding it. Okay, all right, now that gets the back one done. Now on the front one, I'm going to fold it forward, because what we'll do is after we do the shell stitch along the opening of the neck and the armhole facings, we will turn this where the facing is on the inside. But I need to tie another knot in my thread, so I'll be right back. Okay, starting on one side at about 1/4 inch away from the edge, I'm going to anchor my thread into place with a couple of little stitches. Then I'll start doing running stitches up to the top of the facing. Okay, then I'm going to double my thread and anchor it, and then I can tie a knot. There we go. Okay, now I need to do one more side, so I'll be right back. Okay, we've got one more little seam, so I'm going to start at the bottom of the facing again, and once again I'm going to tack my thread in place so that that facing won't come undone, and then I'm going to make tiny little running stitches at 1/4 of an inch seam allowance going up to the top of the facing. Oh, my needle just came unthreaded. There we go. Okay, just a couple more little stitches, and then we'll anchor it into place and tie a knot. There. Let me clip my threads. Okay, now then, let's see if we can get a nice look there. Okay, so we've got both of the facings. Okay, now I'm gonna leave them turned toward the front. The facings are inside out right now, the front facings are. And the back facings are, I'm gonna trim a little bit off of that right there because it's sticking out beyond the thing, and I'm gonna need to make the shell stitch there in just a little bit. Okay, so what we were doing today is we were creating the little facings at the top of the 4 little shoulder pieces, both the back pieces and the front pieces. We're leaving the front pieces where the facing is turned towards the front of the garment right now, and we won't turn that until after we complete the shell stitch. But in the next video, we'll look at doing the little shell stitch along the neck hole opening and the armhole openings. But thank you.